Here's a fact of life for you. TNA has been more enjoyable and more entertaining than Monday Night Raw. You can't argue with me on that, okay? Because you know it is. And all those TNA haters that pretend they don't watch it or hate it and say it's trash, I know you're watching. I see y'all motherfuckers. I know you're watching. Deep down, they know this what TNA is doing right now is good shit, okay? So stop your pretending because you're watching and you're loving it. But you're not gonna fucking say it, are ya? Or else you're gonna come off as a fucking hypocrite, you motherfucking hypocrites. Now then, like I said before, TNA is more than ready for Bound for Glory, and so am I. My expectations are extremely high like never before, okay? I have a feeling that this year's Bound for Glory may possibly be the best one yet. May, okay? It may be. Of course it's gonna be a good one, but as far as it being the best one, it may, alright? Because everything is set, the segments has been great, the build-ups has been great. I don't know, so if it doesn't succeed this year, then I don't fucking know. And if people don't buy it, then I also don't know, because this is another fucking shit that has been do this throughout the whole year. So people not really buying the pay-per-view, they're gonna stream it. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? If it's a normal show, the normal shows, then there's no problem streaming that. But if it's a pay-per-view, buy it at least, you know, at least that, you know, because or else you're kind of, they're not making anything of it, especially if it's going to be a good PFG. But anyways, so you already know how I do my reviews. I try to keep it as short as possible because I don't like to go on long that it becomes a 1 hour review, you know what I mean, especially when I'm doing it solo. So I summarized everything in a way that I don't talk too much or stay too long on a topic. Alright, so let's go through all of this masterpiece. So the show starts with The Miracle coming out. There actually was an opening, but I'm not really gonna talk about that. It was just Matt Hardy, and you had Rebby playing the keyboard, which she's really fucking good at, by the way, the piano. And you had an actual singer singing the Obsolete song, like in a real opera voice. I thought that was really amazing. But yeah, the show starts with The Miracle coming out. Mike Bennett, of course, as usual, complaining, being all pissed off and shit. And then he says he's not champion right now because of one man, someone he brought in, someone he called his friend, someone he paid. Speaking of Moose, of course, and then says he texted Moose and fired his ass. So now that Moose is out of the picture, he can focus on getting the title and no one is going to stand in his way. And then Dixie Carter comes out. Then Dixie Carter tells him that the fans came to watch Impact Wrestling and now that's the Miracle turn. So basically she's saying Mike Bennett is fucking talking too much, which he is, as usual, always. And then Mike says Maria should be running the company and he should be champion. That is a storyline that the WWE would go with. Alright, this is TNA. You don't play that shit. And then he says with Moose out of his way, no one can stop him from becoming the champion. And then Dixie says she made a decision that's good for the company and it involves Mike Bennett. So Mike Bennett, of course, thought she was gonna put him in the title picture at the main event. But then she tells him that he's going to face Moose at Bound for Glory. Interesting. If you are watching Ring of Honor, then you would know that these guys have wrestled each other a couple of times and it's been good. So I'm guessing, or at least hoping, it's going to be the same case at Bound for Glory when these two go one-on-one. Right, after that we have our first match, tag team match, knockouts, Gail Kim teaming up with Jade against Sienna and Allie. Alright, so minus the whole Allie thing, because she was obviously the underdog in the match, it was a good match. Although I didn't like the fact that Gail spent a lot more time in the ring than Jade. Okay, but it was a good match. You of course had Sienna and Allie not being able to work well together because obviously she's pissed off at Allie. Sienna is a big girl, so she's gonna do a lot of power moves and all of that. But Jade ended up, Gail Kim and Jade ended up winning the match. because of Sienna doing that one finisher to Ali, leaving her there on the mat. Ali walks out, and yeah, this is definitely going leading up to Ali going her separate way. Definitely, you can definitely see it's gonna come to a point where she's not gonna take any shit anymore. She's just gonna be on her own, which is great because that would mean hopefully that the character is gonna get serious and that she's gonna actually show that she can wrestle, which she can. Okay, because if you're familiar with her in the Indies teaming up with Kimberly, known as the Cherry Bombs, then yeah, you would know she can wrestle, and I actually want to see that, you know. But good match, good match. So after that we had video, sort of a Hardy gathering with Jeff Hardy, Senior Benjamin, Rebecca, and Maxwell, and also I think Vanguard one, basically at his personal zoo. Okay, he has this giraffe that he calls George Washington. He has a kangaroo he calls Smoking Joe, which he let Jeff spar with him. This one was funny because not only did the kangaroo spar with Jeff Hardy, but then he also started fighting with Matt Hardy. It was really funny. You could hear the camera guy literally laughing. Okay, that's good shit. And then he goes to his monkeys. He has a bunch of monkeys which he all gave a name: DJC, Mandus, Andrew Edward. He even mentioned the Young Bucks, their name. He called them the Bucks of Youth. And I think they also tweeted that. This is funny shit, and I know my homie TNA Mafia doesn't like the Young Bucks. I have no problem really with the Young Bucks, although I do have a little issue with them not doing any technical moves. And I kinda, that bothers me a little bit. I don't, you know, I like high flying shit, spot monkey shit, but if you're only gonna do that, then, you know, what's the point, you know? We gotta do some technical moves as well. And that is something that the Young Bucks aren't really doing. You know, they are well known for their high flying shit, so they're definitely spot monkeys. He also has a tiger which he called Kangaskhan, if I'm not mistaken. That's like a Pokemon name. But anyways, it was good. It was really funny, you know. I like the fact that they showed Matt Hardy his zoo. I mean, I love animals, so I definitely would love to have my own little zoo, you know. That would be fucking amazing. But it all costs money, so especially when you want to buy a fucking tiger. I can't imagine how much a tiger costs, let alone a giraffe or a kangaroo for that matter. Whew. This guy has some serious bucks for all of this. But good stuff. After that we had Billy Corgan coming out. We had an in-ring segment where Billy Corgan announces that the King of the Mountain Championship has been retired. And then he shows us the Grand Impact Champion, which is a really good looking belt in my opinion. Looks even better than the heavyweight title. You know, I think this title has changed a lot throughout the years, haven't it? But right after he announced the champion, Drew Galloway then came out. So basically Drew wants Billy to crown him first. But then Billy tells him that he has to fight for it, wrestle for it, and then we see a little short video of the rules and such, that it's gonna be an 8-man tournament will take place to crown the champion. The rules are each match is 3 rounds with 3 minutes, and they must get 10 points, and that there will be judges at ringside. The match is gonna be won either by pinfall or submission, and if it goes to distance, then the judges will decide. I have always been a fan of tournament matches because then you have the wrestler continuing wrestling someone else. I've always loved that concept. I also love these rules, but I feel like the judges being involved is a little bit too much, just a little bit, you know. But I still like the concept and all of this, which means the 3-minute matches, 3 rounds with 3-minute matches, means that there is no goofing around, so they have to do some actual wrestling, you know what I mean? So that's good, and that also means that the matches will be a little bit longer, so I definitely like that. Okay, so good stuff, really good stuff, man. So after that, Billy then says the first champ will be crowned at Bound for Glory, and then Drew says that tells Billy what's best for business, and that if he uses Drew to his absolute potential, that he is the bloody business. And then Aaron Rex came out. Aaron says that Drew is not this business, sorry, but the fans are, and that he's going to send Drew back to Scotland in a medical helicopter. So while both of them were making the attempt to fight, Billy then stops them and says that Aaron has his in-ring debut next week. Well, he didn't say next week, actually they announced that on Twitter, but it's going to be next week, and that Drew is going to have the first debut match for the title, that tournament, immediately. So we had our second match, which was Drew against Braxton Sutter. In the first round, Drew basically had worked Braxton Sutter over in the entire round. Drew is a big guy, you know, so you can expect a lot of power moves from him. He's a really fucking big guy. I think he's taller than me, because I'm like 6'5", and he's probably, I think, 6'7" or something, you know. He has about the same height as Donovan Dijak, guy from Ring of Honor, if you don't know that. In the second round, Braxton Sutter was the one that worked him more often and got more points, but ultimately in the third round, Drew was able to beat him by doing a submission move. So Drew Galloway moves on, obviously. And then after that, there was a break. They showed where Rockstar Spot was attacking Braxton Sutter. And I've said this a couple of times, they need to start this feud between Spot and Braxton Sutter already. Okay, I think we have 2 weeks left before Bound for Glory, so I don't think it's going to happen in those 2 weeks. I still believe that they're gonna face each other at Bound for Glory, but I would have liked it if they have an actual feud first, you know, a build-up, which they actually have been doing in a way by them attacking each other or whatever, but I don't like it that way. They need an actual feud where they're going to cut promos and all of that. So if it's not going to be in these 2 weeks, then hopefully after Bound for Glory, because it's going to be a good feud. You know, we all know Rockstar Spot can fucking go, that guy is good, okay? So after that we had another video where we see some guy coming out of a liquor store, and then he starts to drive on the road, where we see Rosemary walking on the road. This is like something you would see in a fucking horror movie, like, holy shit, TNA, can you get any better than this? This is so fucking good. So then the guy asked Rosemary for a lift, Rosemary acting all weird and shit, you know. And then Crazy Steve and Abyss appear, started, you know, frightening the guy and shit. So then they ride off, and you see the guy laying on the street. Then they basically were riding to Cameron, Carolina, or whatever that block is named, and it was really good shit, man. Does TNA have a new creative team or something? Because they have been so fucking good lately. Holy shit, this was really fucking good. Then after that we had the Bound for Glory press conference, which I'm not gonna go into all that much because you already know what happens normally at these things. At the end of when they had their saying, so they start to fight, and that's what happened, which was a good one. It was a little bit longer, but Lashley was the one that kind of gave EC3 more of a beating than EC3, but then it was good. It was all good. It was entertaining. You could see that they had a few of the fans in that conference because familiar faces, you know, but it was all good. I like the whole MMA feel, just like how they do it in MMA weigh-ins. I like how they do that also in TNA, because I don't think any other wrestling company has done this as well. So I like that whole MMA feel stuff with, you know, the conferences and such. So after that we had another match, Jesse Goddard versus Eli Drake. In the first round, Jesse had the upper hand. Jesse was really incredible in this match. This guy gets better and better each fucking time. In the second round, he also had the upper hand. Did a lot of drop kicks. arm drags, you name it. This guy did a lot more moves than he normally does. But in the third round, Eli Drake got the win, which I'm honestly not all too happy about it. And that's the thing about this whole thing. You know, I like Eli Drake, but I would have liked it if they gave it to Jesse Garber, because he obviously was the better guy in that match. And that's the thing with these judges, you know. Or in this case, if you have high points, but you still, if you still get the pin, then you know the person that pins you is the winner. So there's still a little bit thingy with this whole 3-on-3, this whole rules of the Grand Impact Champion, but no problem, it's all good. So Eli Drake moves on. So after that we had the final deletion part 2, or in this case delete or decay, which was they really filmed this, they really shot this really fucking good. You had fireworks with Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Rebecca was shooting fireworks at Abyss, Rosemary, and Crazy Steve, which was fucking awesome. You even had an appearance of Joseph Park. What the fuck was that? You know, when Jeff Hardy kicked Abyss into the lake, you had Senior Benjamin trying to get the boat to Matt, and then Joseph Park, you tell him how he loved final deletion and all of that. So Joseph Park tried to hug him, then Senior Benjamin teased him with a taser. This was so fucking funny, man. Joseph Park. Even had where Abyss stabbed Jeff Hardy with Janice, so he all acting like he's dying and all of that. You even had the drone involved in this, the drone shooting fireworks. So he was then you had the, I don't know what you call that symbol of Jeff Hardy, but it was really nice how they let the fire, you had fire coming around the symbol, and Crazy Steve and Abyss were in it. That was really fucking awesome, like a real actual movie, you know, a real trailer movie. It was good shit. And then a little at the end, you had Rosemary spitting the mist to Matt Hardy. First on the drone, she spit the mist on the drone. Yeah, that was so. I'm fucking lost. Hold on. Yeah, I think that was the end. I don't know, but either way, Rosemary tried to spit the mist on Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy like absorbed it. You know, he took it in himself, and then he spit it back to Rosemary, and Rosemary acting all like she's dying and shit, and then she runs away. I think that was really fucking funny. This all was good, although there has been a little bit of wrestling between Jeff and Crazy Steve, but not all too much. I would have hoped it or liked it if there was a little bit more wrestling in it, which wasn't the case in this one, but it's all fine. You know, it's all good. This was good shit. All the shots, the way they filmed it and all of that, real good. This was real fucking good. I liked it. I don't know if it was better than the first one. I honestly still like the first one more than this one, though. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with the first one still being better than this one, but this one was also good. So I'm guessing it's definitely not over yet, knowing that at the end DECAY kidnapped Senior Benjamin, so I'm guessing they're going to be on the hunt for Senior Benjamin now, so this is far from over. However, I will say that this shouldn't be the type of storyline that drags on way too long. Okay, just like how they did with, what is that group name? The Aces and Eights. Okay, there should be a point where it should just literally be the final deletion. You know what I mean? So don't drag on way too long on it. But good show, man. Really, really fucking good show. Next week, I don't know what next week looks like. They have announced a few matches on Twitter. I don't really follow their Twitter thing. I don't go to their actual account to see what they have announced or all of that. It's usually when I scroll to my TL, then I see it, and that's how I know what's up next week. But next week's, I think it's going to be a good show as well. But it's all good, man. This is a really, really good show. Bravo TNA, you once again done it. The box of you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share if you feel like doing so. And I will see you next week.